Yes, you're reading this correctly. I'm guaranteeing your trading education business between $10,000 and $100,000 in monthly recurring revenue added to your business, or you get all your money back plus an extra $1,000 in profit from us just to say sorry. So if you're already watching this video, you know why you're here, but I'm going to reveal our trading education specific marketing and sales system that's done over $15 million in client revenue just in the last 2 years. And yes, to confirm, we've been scaling specifically trading education businesses for over 2 years now. We've worked with some of the biggest names in the space, and again, if you're watching this video, you definitely recognize them. Then after that, I'm going to show you the core system that we've plugged in for all of our top clients and some of the biggest names in the space that have generated over $50 million in revenue. And at the end, I'm actually going to show you how you can plug it into your own business. So just stay till then. And before you think this is just any other marketing system that anybody else could give you, we have worked with some of the biggest names in the trading community that you definitely recognize. If you're on our page, you can just scroll down. You're going to see an entire list of them. And if you're in the space, you'll definitely know their names. They're some of the biggest names in the trading community world across almost every niche that exists. And it doesn't even matter whether they're like a futures trader and they're using ICT. It doesn't matter if you're a crypto trader. It doesn't matter if you're a forex trader, even forex automation, whether you buy options, whether you sell options for premiums, whether you trade penny stocks, or even guys who trade large cap equities. So just some of the ones I can show you here. So one of them is going to be Dodgy. So you're going to see him on screen. Jack Trades, a Deal Trades, Colin Jones, and obviously we have a ton of creators in our portfolio pulling over 100K per month, but I can't mention them by name under NDA. And the same system that we've used for these guys repeatedly over and over that have printed over 15 million, we can use that to take trading creators, even starting from zero, like the creative trader here, and get them from 0 followers, you can see here, to over 10K in just 31 days. And he actually made over $10,000 in revenue from just his 45 days. And if you're already over 20K a month, then you don't have to worry about this. But if you're starting from scratch, really pay attention to this because it's going to work. And if you have a question of, oh, am I too small to work with you guys, I actually answer your question at the end, so stay till the end of the video. But you can see here, so Lee was actually at 0 followers. Now, after 43 posts, he's already at 12K followers. He's had hundreds of course sales, and he already has built like 2K in recurring revenue, and it's only been a month and a half. All right, he even left a review here. You can see the date of this is like January 20th. He bought on December 15th, and he posted this review on 21st because he was already doing so well just from the content we teach and the system that we helped him plug in. So if you're on this video, you probably run a trading community, and it doesn't matter whether it's crypto, whether it's forex, whether it's futures, literally doesn't matter. But if you want a real system that turns the attention you get from social media, or if you want to get more attention on social media and turn that attention into paying members, then watch this video to the end, because I'm going to show you exactly how we do this for all of our clients and how you can have it completely done for you as well. So let's start with why your business and why even our business exists. And right now we're in the middle of a massive shift. It's called the education revolution. And what I'm showing you is all of these legacy education institutions like universities, like colleges, whatever, they are getting less and less enrollments every single year. In fall 2024, 10% less people, 2.1% less people, 8.2% less people, 5.7, 8.3, 5.0 across the board. Less people are enrolling in college. And simply, honestly, it's probably just because not only is it getting more expensive, it's becoming more useless as time goes on. Instead, what we are in and the business we're in is actually the e-learning market. So this is online education, and this is an absolutely massive industry, and it's actually doubled since 2017. So it actually just hit 320 billion a year in global market size. It's growing 14% every single year, and since 2017, it almost doubled with how much people are enrolling online, and this is just continuing to exponentially scale every single year. So we've really caught the correct wave. But here's the thing, with all this growth, it may get saturated, all right? And here's what's going on right now, and here's what's going to go on for the rest of time. The internet, and really the world in general, is and will always be a trustless environment. People will always assume you're lying, especially if you're posting low trust type of content until proven otherwise, especially actually in the trading space and really anything involving money or risk at all. And this isn't just like a vibe, or this isn't just something I'm catching on to that I'm telling you guys about. There is real data about this. So back in 1972, 46% of US adults said most people can be trusted. This has dropped significantly in 2018 and 2023, where now it's at 34%. And this is obviously going to be even lower in financial sectors and really anything involving trading or money or losing anything. Or with trading, you could lose your life savings, right? Especially if you do it wrong. And I actually have more data, so let's keep going. And at the same time with all of this, by the way, scams have been going absolutely nuts. So in 2024, the FTC actually reported $12.5 billion with a B in reported losses to fraud, and 5.7 billion of that, so a little under half, were in investment scams. So with the amount of stuff that's going on right now, trust is understandably at an all-time low. So how do you stand out? Well, I'll tell you how not to. If you market trading education like it's still 2018, like you're flexing your watch, you're flexing your Lambo, and you're sending people to a mentorship link, or like some even just like a checkout link, and you're getting these people to DM you and be like, "Oh, bro, put me on." CTAing quickly, you just have a checkout link in your bio. You're just going to simply sell into a new modern world where people are just trained to distrust you, and you don't stand out because you look like every other scammer. And even if you're going to try that, trading is the absolute worst niche for this, because you're not selling protein powder, you're not selling gym memberships, you're not selling anything low risk, you're selling risky education and the ability to make decisions that involve their money, their risk, emotional losses due to it. So really, you have to prove that you can provide a lot of value, and you have to build a lot of trust and authority in your brand so that people not only pay you, but pay you the most so that they could get the best results. So obviously over the last 2 years, we've looked at a ton of studies for this specifically. In academic research on financial services, trust is described as having a particularly crucial role in the sector compared to other sectors, especially after so much recent turbulence and uncertainty that damaged confidence in consumers. So right now, if you don't build trust intentionally, you just get stuck with views if you're lucky and then your content pops off, but you're not going to get any buyers. You might have some followers who lurk but never actually join the Discord or pay you, or you might have leads who do give you their email and do join your Discord, but they ghost because you never actually built up yourself and your unique mechanism as an authority and a strong brand in their head for them to look up to and follow. Here's what most people just don't understand about buying or selling online right now. It's not going to be that they watch one of your YouTube videos or one of your Instagram reels, and then they're going to click your link in bio and make a decision and pay you money instantly. It's just not going to happen that way. In fact, Google did a study back in the early 2010s. This one was a zero moment of truth macro study, and it found that the average number of sources used in a shopping journey, especially online, it almost doubled. So this was across all businesses, but before whatever time range they used, it was 5.2 sources, and now it's 10, or back in the early 2010s, it's 10.4, and 84% of them use online research. Again, this is including in person, but this is increasing every single year as the internet becomes more saturated, because people need to know what they're buying, especially right now where interpersonal trust is at its absolute lowest. So right now, if your whole sales process is that you're gonna post one short, or even if you're going to post multiple shorts, but each of those shorts aren't actually inside of a process and inside of a systemized way to get people to build trust in your brand, and you're just going to post a short, you're going to CTA to a checkout link, and then you're just going to pray their buy. You're trying to force leads into a decision while they're still exploring and trying to find out more. And what this does is this just massively not only decreases your authority and trust, so the lead gets harder to sell in the future, but it's just simply going to be low conversion. This is like walking into a bar, finding the prettiest woman you've ever seen, just walking up to her while she's with her friends and just saying like, "Hey, want to get married? Want to fuck?" Because it's simply you haven't gotten there. You just jumped from floor 1 to floor 10 without climbing the stairs. And there's a real psychological effect behind this. So it's actually called the mere exposure effect. But what it is that repeated exposure to someone increases the amount of life and enjoyment that you have towards them. So it's a classic exposure effect. And here's another study. When buying happens in social/community environments, in this case, actually, it's a social commerce platform, which is pretty much any social media, any ad platform ever. Trust is a major driver of purchase intention. There's actually a meta-analysis here that I have a screenshot of, with 20 independent effect sizes from 19 studies and over 8.2 thousand people as their sample. So telling you, it's scientifically based, not only by Google, but also independent researchers. But what does this actually mean for you? So if someone just sees you once on social media, you're just going to be a complete random. You're never going to convert. You're never going to build a brand. The reason why I can say TGR and you know who that is, and I might say Dodgy and you might know who that is, or I might say or Umar Ashraf or any of these big trading guys, they've had this built for them in the past, knowingly or not. They have something that has built so much trust that they've been able to build a cult-like audience around themselves. So in your business, you can implement this and this is what we do for all of our clients. If they see you everywhere and they see you repeatedly and they see you in a structured way that gets a lead through the 7-Eleven 4 process, which I'm going to explain in a second. This is actually another Google study. You become the obvious choice and you become the top authority and the brand that they follow when it comes to this specific topic. So, like I promised, we simplify this all into one rule, which actually came from the same Google study back in the early 2010s across hundreds of internet businesses and billions of data points, and it's called the 7-Eleven 4 rule. So what does this actually mean? So they found in order to turn any sort of cold viewer, any sort of cold lead into a paying customer, on average, they had to interact with 7 hours of your content across 11 different touch points in 4 different locations to turn a stranger into a buyer. So if your prospects are only getting 20 minutes of exposure to you, they might see a few reels, they might DM you, or even if they just watch a single one of your YouTube videos, they're simply not going to be ready to buy, especially when it comes to financial risk like it is in trading. And if they're only seeing you in one place, even if they see you for a while, they simply don't trust you. You have to pull them off platform. And this is why most trading communities just simply plateau. They might do those shorts where they flex their watch or they flex their rented Corvette or their sky-rise high apartment in Brickell in Miami. Or they might have a free Discord where they live trade in it, but they'll have no setup on the back end to actually help convert those leads. And in fact, having a free Discord where leads get full access to you without paying at all is just going to lower your authority. And I'm not saying free communities are bad. All of our clients actually have free communities, almost all of them. But the way they're set up is actually to convert and build more authority and help them get leads through the 7-Eleven 4 process, not just give away access for free. And obviously, if you might have a checkout link in your bio, then you're simply not going to convert on that. But that's why most trading communities plateau. They do all 4 of these and then they just post shitty reels and then just pray people buy. And I'm telling you right now, God will not help you convert people. That's simply the truth. And again, that's not a system that will actually scale your business. That's just throwing wet noodles at a wall, just hoping something sticks. So here's the one belief that might change everything for you. Your prospects and your leads do not need more hype. They do not need to see you flexing your watch, flexing a car, or flexing your MetaTrader P&L or your Trade of 8 P&L or your AMP Live P&L and just be like, wow, this guy's killing it. Like, I have to pay him. They simply don't need that, and that's not how decisions are made in the modern day and age. Right now, to convert the best in your business, you need to engineer, and really they need it. They need a trust journey that is engineered on purpose to get them through the 7-Eleven 4 process so you make the most amount of money from each lead and you convert the most amount of leads possible. And this is the case no matter what, whether you sell low ticket memberships, whether you're selling high ticket coaching, whether you sell signals, although we don't recommend it. If you're watching this, you most likely sell education or even a hybrid because it's the same trust engine for each and every single one of them. It's just going to be different CTAs and different types of content because you want your full funnel to be congruent. So now if you're wondering about the actual system, we've actually named it, and this is the same system that we plugged in for our biggest clients, in fact, all of our clients, and it's the reason why we were able to do over $15 million in revenue just in the last 2 years for our guys, and it's called the Authority Ascension Funnel. It's the only system that we've actually found that lets trading communities scale consistently because it's built around one thing and one thing only, systematically building authority and trust in the prospect's mind. And this is why it works for people like Dodgy, people like Jack Trades, people like Colin Jones, some of the biggest names in the space that I actually can't mention, and it still works for people starting from complete zero. Because it doesn't matter where you are, you need some sort of system to systematically build trust in a prospect's, in a lead's mind. And this is not just do more. Obviously, more volume with content, more volume with anything will help, but this is actually how to route your leads in a smarter way so they convert at the highest rate possible. You might go from converting 2 out of every 100 leads to converting 10 out of every 100 leads, and you'll 5x your business. And yes, like I said, this works for crypto guys, this works for forex guys, futures guys, ICT guys, options guys, scalpers, swing traders, whatever, long-term investing, swing traders, leap option traders, option sellers for premium. You don't have to be an ICT trader. The instrument and the style in which you trade don't matter. The buyer psychology is the exact same for each and every single one of these people. They need to trust you, and they need to trust your unique mechanism, and they need to trust the way you teach before they pay you a dime. So how do we actually systemize that in the authority ascension funnel? I'm going to break it down for you like a storyboard, super, super simple. It's going to be like 2 minutes, just watch through it. So step one, you can get traffic from any sort of source. This can be Instagram Reels, this can be Twitter, this can be, let's see, YouTube Shorts, collabs, podcasts, ads. It doesn't really matter. This funnel doesn't actually replace traffic sources. It makes them convert, and it adds traffic that are more likely to convert. So for example, if you're posting the faceless flex content on Instagram and you switch that to our style, which is more educational, and we obviously have a systemized way to blow up Instagrams even from scratch. But if you switch to that, you start getting real leads who come in and they want to learn trading from you, especially if you tie all your videos into your unique mechanism. Not only will you get more leads, you're also going to get more leads that are just 10 times more likely to convert than that broke college kid who's like 17 and is considering either learning trading or joining the army. That guy's not going to convert over a 25-year-old who's been trading for 3 years and actually has the pain that your product solves. And step two, once you have your traffic, you want to start capturing your leads and stop wasting them in the first place. So instead of sending people to like a Whop checkout link or even just like a free Discord with no setup behind it, you want to actually capture the lead and pull them off platform and hit them hit them on email, just a ton of other touch points. All right. And you get one of your locations. So this might be using a ManyChat automation to send people to a lead magnet. If you're on anything other than Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, you may just need to link a lead magnet in the description, for example, on YouTube, or even like a landing page, some sort of opt-in page. The goal is simple. Once you actually have the lead, by collecting their email, collecting their name, getting them in the Discord, whatever, you can actually follow up on them and get them to convert at a higher rate by routing them through the 711-4, which is something you will have systemized and automated once you're working with us. And step three, so once you have that lead, you actually need to get them through the 711-4 process, and you need to nurture them across multiple places. And so once they opt in, they're going to go through some email automations instantly, and this is on the back end of the lead magnets. They're going to go through a few other email automations that sequence based on the lead magnet that they claimed. They're also going to go into your free community, so it doesn't really matter whether you're on school, whether you're on Discord, whether you're on Telegram, whether you're built natively on Whop, as long as you have an actual conversion setup, and we figured out setups for each and every single one of these platforms. We used to have a school. Now we prefer running everything on Discord and maybe Whop. We have some clients on Whop, but right now Discord is much more commonly used than Whop. But as long as you have a setup to actually convert those leads, which is exactly what we do for you, you will start making more money from each and every lead. And just as a quick tip, everything routes them into long form YouTube. So not only the emails, not only inside of the free community, everything will route them into long form YouTube, because this is actually what gets people to convert at a super, super high rate. And this is because YouTube long form is basically one-to-many sales calls. If someone watches 3 videos of yours and they're each 20 minutes, that's like spending an hour with you. If someone binge watches and they really, really want to get to their goals, and your videos are actually providing the educational value they need to level up, and they're going to start seeing you as an authority, because if they binge watch 10 videos of yours, that's basically an all-day sales call that you took with them, where you never got tired, you never forgot what to say, and you provided so much value to them that they now see you as the guy to go to solve their problem, which is exactly what you want when you're selling a product to those people. In step 4, you want to be omnipresent. Like I said, they want to see you a lot. They want to see a lot of you. They want to see you in many different places, and you want to be everywhere. You should be in their email. You should be in their YouTube feed. You should be in their Instagram For You page. You should be in their TikTok For You page. They should be in your free community, and you should be able to do announcements and send them push notifications straight to their phone from Discord. So what this is that you're stacking time engaged with your brand, you're stacking more touch points in which you're getting to them, and they're seeing you in multiple different locations to get them through that 7-Eleven 4 rule, and the sale stops being convincing. You're less selling them now, and it now just becomes completely inevitable because they see you as the authority and the brand to go to and the brand to pay when they want to solve their problems. And this is exactly what we do completely for you. And this is what we've done for all of our clients to do over $15 million in revenue for them just in the last 2 years. And it's blown people up from scratch. It's blown people up who are already doing revenue. It works across many different niches, and it's completely done for you. There's actually a guarantee completely because it's done for you. We couldn't guarantee it to people if they had to come in and they had to do it themselves because they simply don't have the experience. The reason why we have the 10K to 100K MRR guarantee is because we've done it so many times. We know we can scale trading communities so consistently to a point where we can offer the guarantee. And obviously that's just for marketing, the 10K minimum, unless you are starting from scratch. The 10K minimum is really just for marketing. Most people blow over that way before the timeline even runs out for the guarantee. I've spent hundreds of thousands in education programs online, and most people say done for you, and then they'll give you like a Google Doc and say, hey, do this, and then they'll disappear. But when we say done for you, we build the entire machine for you and help you run it end to end. So eventually one day you can hire your own team and have them run the system, but we plug it completely in for you. The only thing you're gonna have to do completely by yourself is going to be record the content, edit the content, and post it, which we also guide you with. So really, we hold your hand through the whole thing. So number one, first thing we're going to do is we're going to come into your business and we're going to build you your kind of traffic catch system. So all the traffic you're getting or all the traffic you might not be getting, this is going to be the first system we build so you can stop wasting views if you don't have any. This is so you don't waste them when you do get them. And this is going to be the part that actually catches the attention from social media, from ads, from whatever it is, and turns it into an actual lead. So that's going to include not only the link in bio that the hub page we set up or any of the landing pages, but mainly it's going to be the lead magnet offer that we're going to help you build. We call it a HVCO, high value content offer. And the point of this is that it's supposed to be something super valuable to your target audience, and they shouldn't really be able to say no to it. It should be something super valuable and perfectly tied into each piece of content that you post so that it's a complete no-brainer for them to opt in and come deeper into your funnel because they want the value you can provide. And on Instagram, this is obviously going to include all the ManyChat automations so people can comment a keyword, boost your engagement, get you more views, and instantly get routed through through the Authority Ascension funnel so that you can get them through the 7-Eleven 4. Plus, we're going to build all the flows for you, all the opt-in flows. So as soon as they opt in, you're going to collect their email, maybe their phone if you have a setter and you're doing high ticket, but we're going to set up all the automations for that on the back end so you don't have to worry about it at all. They're going to get the value and they're going to be automatically routed through all your content. So not only is that lead going to be perfectly nurtured and want to pay you, but it's going to boost your social presence everywhere because they're going to follow you everywhere. They're going to be watching your content everywhere. They're going to be building a stupid amount of trust and authority with your brand and unique mechanism so you can get the most amount of money from them as possible. But not only that, because you're not a scammer, they're also going to get the most amount of value as possible. Number two, so we're going to build out all your email automations, and this is going to be kind of the trust engine that runs even while you sleep. In fact, if you died and stopped posting, your email automations would make whoever's next of kin more money because nobody would realize you died for at least a couple days, because I assume you wouldn't post on social media instantly considering you're dead. But once you have the lead captured, we're going to build out the full email backend for them. So this isn't just like a welcome email or just like an onboarding email. It's actually going to be a real automated system that we've split tested and proven with hundreds of our clients. It's going to include lead magnet specific sequences because each lead magnet implies a different intention. We're going to have the long-term value sequences that are designed to build trust and authority and push more leads through the 7-Eleven 4, so you build that cult-like audience. And then we're also going to build out the onboarding and the churn sequences on the back end after they pay to maximize customer retention and LTV. Onboarding sequence, obviously, this is a massive factor in churn. In fact, I think we took Dodgy's churn from 30 something to low 20s just from the onboarding sequence. And then we made him so much revenue by winning back lost subscribers with the churn sequences. So those can make you a ton of money. Emails end up making last touch about 30% of our revenue. So if you're a marketer, you know what that means. If you're not, then skip it. I'm going to go to the next slide. And this is important to note. We also map all the emails so that almost every email routes into a YouTube long form video, because that's where trust gets built the fastest, like we spoke to earlier. And this is important. Your email is not just for selling and pitching stuff. Your email is for staying top of mind. You want to show up every single day, even when you're not posting. And that's what the automations do. They get people watching your content, and you stay top of mind, and they see more of your content, and then they end up paying you because you are that guy. You are inevitable once you pretty much capture the lead. And number three, this is a big one. We actually build your free community conversion setup. So it doesn't matter whether it's in Discord, School, Whop, Telegram. We prefer if it's on Discord and Whop, but it doesn't really matter if you're on School, Telegram. You're still going to make more money with us. But we're going to set up the entire system in there. So this is what we did for Dodgy. This is what we did for Jack. This is what we did for a deal. This is what we do for all of our clients. We set up a system inside of the Discord and let you know what free events to do so that it actually is congruent and systemizes the 7-11-4 rule along with all the other stuff we do. Because right now, honestly, let's be real, when you join most Discords, it tends to just be an unorganized chat room where you come in and everybody's just talking in general chat. You're like, oh, the person has joined server. You don't really want to be there. And there's also no content there that actually provides value, and that just simply won't convert. Number four, so we're going to build out your YouTube long form nurture path, because I just told you long form is what builds trust the fastest. So this is going to be the core of the whole funnel. We're going to help you out with this. This is where most people mess up. They're going to post random long form like trade recaps or something, and they're going to wonder why it doesn't sell or wonder why nobody actually wants to click on that in the emails. And the reason why is just because it doesn't provide value. So we've kind of figured out a little system for a lot of our trading guys, especially if they're futures traders, especially if they're ICT guys or options guys. Super, super, super easy to get views and build a lot of trust just by providing value you already would have provided, just in a specific way that just boosts your engagement, not only on YouTube organic, but also whenever you send people to those videos from anywhere. So we kind of have like a map of like the first 5-10 videos you should make, just to make sure that you're posting the right kind of videos that we can actually put in the system. So when we get people through the 7-11-4 rule, they will convert at the highest rate humanly possible. So now, once you plugged in the system, you're absolutely everywhere. You're going to be in their IG feed, you're going to be in their YouTube feed, you're going to be in their email notifications, they're going to see you in their push notifications from the Discord. When they're on Discord, they're going to see notifications from your server, and that is how you actually manufacture and systemize the buying journey. So let's answer some quick questions. This is actually the part most people don't expect. And no, you should not wait until you're bigger, or like if you're at 0 followers, or if you're at a few and you're like, you're kind of growing, but you're not really making money yet because maybe you're doing it for free. You should not, I'm serious, you should not wait until you're bigger to get the right systems plugged into your business. And I'm not saying this just so I can sell you, even though it might sound like that. I'm saying this because I've genuinely seen this time and time again. This isn't in the script. 0 to 10K a month is actually the hardest part. It's hard because at 0, you have literally 0 momentum, you have no audience, you have no trust, and your content has no built-in distribution. So it's super, super hard to get your name out there and build trust in your brand and even build authority. And most people have no idea how to do this in the first place, even if they did have all those things. So really, if you start from 0 and you're going to try and do it yourself and then work with us later to really pump the gas on it, it just kind of doesn't work, because for the first 3 to 6 months, if you don't know what you're doing, it's just going to be so discouraging. Every post is going to feel like it disappears into the void, especially if you don't have your content efficiency down and you don't know how to make content quickly and you don't have a system around it to make it super, super leveraged, and you don't see it being distributed everywhere to actually help convert leads. You're simply either going to give up, and honestly, it's not your fault, because you should have just had a system to get that positive feedback loop in your business. But you're either going to give up, or you're going to be posting for a long time and you're not going to get anywhere. And this is where some people make the mistake that keeps them stuck for literal months, sometimes years. They say, I'm going to wait for the right time. I'm going to try it on my own for a while, and then once I kind of see some progress, like once I hit 10K a month, then I'm going to work with you guys and then step on the gas. But honestly, that's completely backwards. You don't build the systems later when you're bigger. Waiting is literally the reason why you're staying small, because the system is what creates consistency and momentum in the first place. That's like, guys, it's not like steroids where you want to max out your natural gains and then use it to get over your genetic limit. It's like food. You're going to need food so that you can survive and actually get to a point where you're even growing muscle in the first place, and in a business's case, revenue. But if you don't have a system that systematically builds trust and also gets leads to pay, then you're simply not going to make any money. You're not going to get as many views if you don't understand the content. You're not going to get as many high intent engaged leads if you don't understand what to make the content about or how to frame the content. You're not going to get any people in your community or collect any leads if you don't know how to actually capture leads from the attention you're getting. You're not going to convert any of those leads if you don't have a system on the back end where you know how to convert those leads and you know the messaging that works for these trading guys. And then you're not going to make the most amount of money from them, even if any of them do buy, because you didn't build enough trust throughout the whole process. And look, this is supported by outside data as well. All right, the biggest survival hit in business happens early. So the biggest drop happens. The Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that new establishments, and this is in online businesses to be fair, but actually I'd say the rate's even higher with online businesses because it doesn't require investment. But new establishments take their largest survival hit in year one, with one cohort dropping 20% from the first year to the next, which is crazy. And so, I mean, that just proves like early stage is where most people, if you're going to bleed out, you're going to bleed out there. And in our world, bleeding out pretty much just looks like posting for 6 months. You're going to get random views. You might peak at a 5K view video, but you're not getting any sales from it. Even a 600K view video, if you're, I don't know, posting some brain rot, but you're going to get still zero sales just because you have no path to conversion, you've no proven system to take these leads through, and then you're going to sit there at the end saying like, oh man, this doesn't work, maybe this isn't the business for me, while our clients are making hundreds of thousands a month from this. You just never got the right systems in place. Cool. So will this work for low ticket and high ticket? It's the same. Low ticket and high ticket are just different CTAs at different temperatures. In fact, we prefer when our clients are doing both. But the difference is low ticket converts when they trust you enough to try. High ticket converts when they trust you enough to commit to what they're actually doing. So the good thing about low ticket is that it can actually be part of the 7-Eleven 4. And when people, buyers are buyers. So when people buy and they get a lot of value from your program and they see you as the trusted authority in the space, they're more likely to convert to your high ticket. So it's just another stepping stone to getting people to pay you more money. So that's why we set up both with clients. But if you're wondering whether it would work for either, yes, it's the same system. It's just a different step, different warmth that the lead has to be at, all right? And the last question, which I hear all the time, is actually the funniest one. People ask, can I not just learn this from your YouTube? I've gotten so much value from your YouTube. And obviously the answer is no. You can't steal 2 years, over 2 years, and $15 million in client revenue worth of edge from a few YouTube videos. And that's just because the edge isn't the idea. All right. Like, yes, you should be watching your YouTube. Yes, you will get a ton of value from it. Yes, it will make you more money. But if you're starting from zero, especially, and you're trying to get up, or if you're already at like a certain amount of revenue, like 20, 30, 40K a month, and you're watching our YouTube, you simply just don't know how to execute it yet. And that's fine. You're not supposed to. But most people do fail because they default to trial and error learning. They get minimal guidance, they don't watch enough, and then they don't realize that's literally one of the, if not the slowest way to build anything complex and proven. And when people do try to do it themselves, they run into the planning fallacy. So most people just massively underestimate how long it actually takes to build a real working system from scratch. Luckily, you work with us. We have the advantage of already having worked with the biggest names in the space, plus hundreds of other trading education businesses to test what works best before systemizing it for you guys. All right. So we split test across all our clients. We see what works best and then we plug it in. And right now, if you want this installed into your business, just click the link below. There's going to be a button. Or if you're on YouTube, it's going to be the link in the description, and book a call with our CS director to see what guarantee you qualify for. Like I said earlier, it's between 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month in added revenue. So if we guarantee you 100,000 a month, then at the end of 12 months, if we didn't add 100,000 in monthly recurring revenue, which is 1.2 million a year, by the way, then you get all your money back plus 1K from us to say sorry. More likely you're going to get something within the 10 to 40K MRR added range, but still that is 120 to 480,000 a year that we're adding, completely guaranteed, or you get a refund. So it is probably the most insane offer you've ever heard. It's like if I told you I'm going to give you, at the end of this year, I'm going to give you 150 grand in cash. All you're going to have to give me is 50K. And this is an example. Obviously, the price depends on your metrics, stuff like that. But you would take out a loan from the bank at fucking 50% APR. because even at 50% APR, you double your money by the end of the year. Just doesn't make sense to not do it. All right. But book a call, see what you qualify for. All you're going to have to do is fill out a quick form so we understand what you have set up at the moment. And then we're going to map out what this guarantee and what this process would actually look like for you and for your business on call after going through your metrics and what you already have set up. So all you got to do, click that link below and then book a call with our CSD. He's probably has slots same day. And this, again, is not just like some random guy that we hired. This is actually the guy who builds out the funnels for you. So you're going to be seeing his face a lot. Try and make a good impression on him because you're going to be hopping on calls with him when you start working with us as well. But we don't like doing salesy stuff. So it's literally our client success director that you will be speaking to. But yeah, if anything's holding you back, I will say, like, if you're starting from scratch, then I would at least book a call to see if you qualify for the guarantee. Most likely you might. Just see if you do. And then if you are doing crypto, if you're doing forex, if you're not like a futures trader with ICT, it does not matter. Book a call anyways because we can guarantee you minimum 10K. If you qualify, and we'll plug in the exact same system that we've done for our biggest clients that have done over $50 million in revenue. So it doesn't matter what niche you're in. I promise you, whatever niche you're in, we've most likely worked with it, and we've definitely made it money. So just click the link below, book a call, and I'll see you inside.